Bayern Munich return to action in this competition for which the dynamic has changed dramatically now as the group stages turn into the knockout phase. 180 minutes, 3 hours, that's all that separates winners from losers. There is no margin for error. It is now or never. And this must be amongst the favoured arenas of supporters all over the world. It really does have a very special feel to it. This is a noisier occasion all round. Everybody, Jim, knows what's at stake here.
Well, Peter, knockout competitions require knockout mindsets. There has to be a more dynamic edge to the whole approach, whether from going ahead or replying to going behind. This is when the adventure kicks in, and you have to be mentally prepared for a more intense pressure.
So it's away we go then. Jim, who do you pick out as the telling individual today?
Yeah, Robert Lewandowski. He's just about the perfect all-round striker. Not least because he can finish equally well with both feet, Peter. It's not all about his finishing, though. He's always on the shoulder, looking for that ball in behind, and that prevents the opposition defence from getting too high or, indeed, getting too comfortable.
Yeah, he'll be looking for a goal or two.
Paris Saint-Germain have pushed both fullbacks into quite advanced positions here.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what are they attempting to do?
Well, it's a bold attempt, in my opinion, to occupy the opposition in a way they're not expecting.
Davis goes on a charge down the left. Bernat. No change to the score, 0-0 it remains. Paredes. Kimmich. They're guilty of lacking inventiveness here, it's all broken down. Idrissa Gueye. Looking cross-field, changing the point of attack. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. Tries to dink it in. Caught offside that time. Ball's loose, who's getting there? Marquinhos. And the whistle goes for half-time. So both sides have drawn blanks and have toiled at times, but it's not been a bad game by any means. What do you think we're up to after 45 minutes?
I think it's been a very impressive defensive effort. They've never been broken down and contained the opposition attack extremely well.
After 45 minutes, it is still goalless. A change perhaps after half-time. gets things going for the second half. A tight old game so far. Can that change now? He's gone for it! Goal!
And that has only enhanced his already huge reputation. They were obviously hoping for an early second half boost, but there are a few who can truly make it happen, and this is a very welcome tonic now.
Oh, beautifully dispatched. There was no reaching that.
Well, you know, sometimes it pays off not to think too much about things, just put your foot through it, and that was a good example. Great contact, and the keeper had very little chance.
Deadlock broken, it's 1-0.
Surprise, surprise, he just keeps on delivering, and listen, we all expect that.
Marquinhos goes back to base. Keylor Navas sends that a long way. Lewandowski concedes a free kick for that. Keeper sends it forward. And the assistant referee rightly gives him offside. Idrissa Gueye. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. Now surely, chance! He scores! A two-goal cushion, and it's looking safe.
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they've perfected that on the training ground because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front. They really commit forward in numbers too. It was all very well drilled.
He's made it 2, and no doubt he's hungry for more. Time for a change in personnel.
Well, you have to feel a little for the player being taken off here. I think he's been made the scapegoat after that, but I guess something had to be done. I suppose it did need a little change.
Bayern Munich grab a couple of goals without reply. It's 2-0.
Well, with this kind of authority, Peter, why not push on and totally kill this off?
Now it's Gnabry. Idrissa Gueye cuts it out. Mbappe. And here's Di Maria. Di Maria spreads it towards the left. And it's played forward. And it's Gnabry. He's got away. Coman. And he's looking at the referee, and the referee is shaking his head. Bernat just brushed off the ball there. Paris Saint-Germain have turned to their bench, and we're going to have a substitution.
Well, he's worked so hard for his side, as you would expect, but couldn't help notice that he was starting to labour a bit, so it's no surprise.
And now the breakaway. Gnabry drives it forward. Bernat gets away from his opponents. Paris Saint-Germain being made to look sloppy in possession here. Muller, great strength, too strong for his opponent. It's a loose ball. And the counter is on. Now it's Gnabry. And he's there to clear it. And that is it. The referee has seen enough. A huge result. A place in the next round is theirs to lose now. Success on away territory, a lead to protect at home. It is looking really good. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Bayern Munich can certainly give themselves a pat on the back for a job well done.
Bayern Munich come into this second leg brimming with confidence following what turned out to be a truly convincing win last time out, a performance for which they were rightly lauded. Of course, there were the customary voices about exercising caution when their boss faced the press last night, but the general feeling seems to be that the job is more or less done, a mood that is clearly reflected in the atmosphere here. The Bayern fans singing their songs. This indeed is a super club in so many ways. Bayern Munich were so obviously the better side in the first leg. Same again would do nicely.
Yeah, it's going to take a momentous change in fortune to overturn this. I think when you're in such a commanding position, there's no need to go chasing goals again here. They've afforded themselves a chance to control the tempo of this second leg and make the opposition come up with something a little more special. They could end up nibbling at a carcass if they play this right.
So we're up and running. Bayern Munich bring a useful lead into their home game, having won the first leg on the road. They look safe for a place in the last 8, unless things take a drastic turn for the worse here. Mbappe. Marquinhos. Mbappe. Has a goal! Forward it goes. And the Herrera. Big chance! That has certainly tested the keeper.
Paredes simply didn't do anything wrong. He was thwarted by brilliance.
Verratti with the short one. Now the cross. Cut out in the nick of time.
Paris Saint-Germain have pushed both fullbacks into quite...
That's a foul. Simple decision for the referee. Just a talking to, I think. Yes, it is. Mbappe. Good running with the ball. Can they build on it? Koeman. And here's Lewandowski. Marquinhos gets into the right position to intercept. Keeper sends it forward. I think that's offside. Yes, it is. It's Gnabry. Lings in across.
Well, when the options aren't quite present in the box, it's the crosser's interest to hold on for the support.
Bernat tries to switch the play. Mbappe. Marquinhos. Paredes. He's left his man. Looks to drop one in. Caught offside that time. Idrissa Gueye. And it's Paredes. If you have just joined us, you'll be glad to know that you haven't missed a goal. Alaba. Alaba goes looking. Looking cross-field, changing the point of attack. And that's left him on the seat of his pants. And that's been one straight. Goes for goal! It's in!
Well, let me assure you that scoring just before half-time is always a real treat. And when it's one of your top talents who delivers it, it just seems to fuel confidence that little bit more.
And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
Well, I think two keepers would have had a hard time keeping that one out, never mind one. There was real venom in the strike and clear composure from the placement.
He's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. And there we are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half, but there has only been that one goal. This is very, very tight.
I need a moment to get my breath back here. This is brilliant, action-packed and incident-packed. Please don't ask me to pick a winner.
Here we go again.
I think they've got to go out at the start of this second half now and set a tone that smacks of intent and determination. Should they manage it, I think they can find a way back.
Good challenge, he just stood firm. Now the counter. He's on his way. Real chance! And he's found the net! They have grabbed themselves an equaliser.
Looking back at that, that's how you play on the counter. Quick and decisive and ruthless with the finish. I thought it was a stunning, stunning breakaway.
So the lead now is 2.
They've seen the light and the opposition have been left in the dark.
Plays it over to the other flank. Paredes pings it in. Chooses to go back. He's had a shot! This could fall anywhere. Oh, that is asking for trouble. Has a hit! Oh, denied brilliantly.
Oh, that's a sparkling save. Absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp.
Paris Saint-Germain are able now to make their substitution. It's been on the cards for a few moments now. And it's played forward. Now it's Lewandowski. And they're not going to make any further progress now. Goretzka. Now it's Lewandowski. Coman gets on the end of it. Neymar tries to get it forward quickly. And they've been caught out here. He's got away. Pavard plays it forward. Gnabry. Paredes drives it forward. More than happy to take the muscular approach.
Yeah, he was under pressure to get that exactly right. He couldn't even think of the consequences. It was instinctive and rock solid.
Time for a change in personnel.
Well, he's worked so hard for his side, as you would expect, but you couldn't help notice that he was starting to labour a bit, so it's no surprise.
Finds himself eased off the ball. He's making good use of his strength there, just refuses to be out-muscled. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. Some of them aren't happy with that challenge and they're getting involved. Steady. Through to the goalkeeper. Now it's Lewandowski. Coman, whose goal-scoring skills have already been evident. And it's Davis. Tries to get it clear. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. So that's the first round done, and on we go. And after what we saw in the first game, Jim, what are your observations now?
I think the important thing for the second leg was that they didn't become uncertain as to whether they set up to defend or attack. And I thought they got the balance just right. Good job done.
So here we are, just waiting for the first of the quarter-finals to get underway. 2 of 8 already battle-hardened teams getting ready to oust each other if they can in a very short while from now. This all in a bid to be called champions of Europe. Expectations have shot through the roof. As we've moved on a stage, there is a definite belief in both camps that this could be their year. A feeling that can only get stronger with every game from now on. This place simply a monument to the game. So much prestige, so much pride, so much passion whenever football is played here. A truly big night of football here ahead of us. It always is when this competition is in town.
Well, we're at the stage, Peter, when the dream becomes believable. The stage of the season when everything takes on a tougher, more pressurised edge. When you want to win all you can, but might have to settle for one. This would be worth settling for, believe me.
So off we go then. Who do you think this turns on, Jim?
Yeah, Riyad Mahrez. He's one of the best dribblers around, Peter, with such delicate, close control and wonderful balance. He could finish with the best of them too, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him score a few cracking individual efforts for this team. He loves to move in from that right flank and unleash with his left foot.
Hard to disagree with that. It is the sort of situation he thrives in. Silva. Coman. Now it's Lewandowski. And here's Gnabry. Ah! Good spell of possession this, but very little to show for it. Silva. If you have just joined us, well, you've missed no goals. What an adventurous run from a defender. Towering header! A chance to play it in. And he's got the ball glued to his feet. Sterling plays it in. And De Bruyne!
De Bruyne quickly realised that he could have a pop, not his best.
Gundogan. And it's Mahrez. Silva. Mahrez provides an outlet. Going through. Coman plays it forward. Just the keeper to beat! And that has been clubbed away. De Bruyne with a good steal, well played. Goretzka tries to get it forward quickly. Now it's Lewandowski. Gnabry. Sterling. Hit long and direct. And that'll be the final action of the first half. So neither team has broken through, but certainly not for the want of trying. It's been an interesting game up to now, but still goals. No goals at this stage, but certainly not devoid of action. It is 0-0 here at half-time. Here we go again then.
Well, that first 45 minutes didn't deliver as we'd hoped. Lots of effort, but a lack of quality with the finishing has left us hoping that someone can step up and produce something a little more magical. Bayern Munich making a fresh attempt to release someone in behind from back to front, and this is something different.
That's great strength on the ball. Silva! Good stop, that wasn't easy.
Silva simply didn't do anything wrong. He was thwarted by brilliance.
And back to base. And he's straight offside. So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. Coman! Oh, the ball's come loose. Forward it goes. Still a little short of forward momentum, lacking thrust. Now it's Aguero. And he's searching through. De Bruyne. Coman. And it's Müller. Now it's Lewandowski. Coman. He gets past his man. It's Müller! Goal!
Well, if ever there was a perfect time to score, I think we just witnessed it.
Just so calm under pressure.
Oh, this fella's as slippery as a needle the way he freed himself to score. I mean, for that defence, it was a case of, now you've got him, now you don't. Brilliant.
Time for a change in personnel.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious as to who was going to be taken off. His energy levels began to sag, and he was never going to last until the final whistle.
Bayern Munich get themselves into the lead.
I think the danger for them now is fatigue. I think when the body tires, the mind soon follows. So concentration is key from here.
Mahrez. And here's Sané. Played in. Great leap! Oh, not the best of headers.
All he'll be thinking is, please, ground, swallow me up.
Bayern Munich need to hold on for a few more moments. Gundogan drives it forward. Goretzka. Coman. Lewandowski! They've scored! A two-goal cushion, and it's looking safe.
I can give the keeper a little sympathy here because I think he might have been slightly unsighted. However, credit where it's due, it's still a fine finish from a tight spot.
Two up and very little. So that's it. It is all over. A huge result. A place in the next round is theirs to lose now. Success on away territory, a lead to protect at home. It is looking really good. How do you look back on the game then, Jim?
Bayern Munich won thanks to a disciplined game plan. Homework provided the groundwork and it exploited an obvious central weakness.
Well, hello and welcome one and all. We are just about to get going with our coverage of this quarter-final tie. The two teams, after the first leg, experiencing fortunes which are very separate, each from the other. On the one hand, we have the victor and the overwhelming favourites for a place in the semi-final, and on the other, those just clinging on and hoping. The Bayern fans singing their songs. This indeed is a super club in so many ways. Well, 1 foot firmly in the semi-finals, now to complete the job.
With a lead this big, it's tempting to think you're in the semis already, perhaps even beyond, but this lot are far too good for that, and I expect them to be professional enough about this.
we're underway. Bayern Munich are back on familiar territory, having secured victory in the first leg. And they're in a position where a semi-final place is all but theirs. It will take some comeback to deny them. Done very well to intervene. Lewandowski. It has shoots! And it's a goal!
What a start, and what a contribution from the main man. I had a feeling he might do something, given his reputation, but to do it like that, absolutely brilliant. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, high-quality goal, lovely first touch, sumptuous second. Bayern Munich have made their breakthrough, so can they build on it? Laporte. And it's Sterling. Now it's Aguero. Oh, well played. He needed to get that right. And here's Sterling. Good challenge, he just stood firm. Oh, good... Aguero! Gnabry. Coman. He gets past his man. Striding forward, facing goal. It's a brilliant interception. Coman. It's Lewandowski! He scores! Hot knife through butter. They have done it again. All over in seconds. That's what they can do to you.
That's just brilliant counter-attacking football, and as soon as possession was theirs, it triggered a move of devastating speed that was just too hot to handle.
Laporte. Fernandinho. Kyle Walker. Get a throw in. Going through. Now it's Aguero. Good run, ultimately thwarted by an astute piece of defending. Crowd appreciates good football all round there. Bernardo Silva gets it back. Walker. Gnabry has created one goal already. Gnabry drives it forward.
Gnabry really just wasn't quick enough then. Well, his thinking certainly wasn't. Didn't make use of what I felt were some very good options.
There's the whistle for half-time. Any strong opinions on the first half?
Well, it's looking pretty straightforward, Peter. They've got themselves into a very good position, so why dither from here when they can repeat their first half success with another show of strength?
Bayern Munich sitting pretty here at half-time, 2-0 up. And we're off again. De Bruyne. Gundogan. More than happy to take the muscular approach. Well, the crowd clearly like what they just... Going for goal! Oh, that is asking for trouble. Shapes to shoot! A collective sigh of relief from the defence.
Oh, that was great pressure to force the initial error, Peter. It's the perfect example as to why this is a favourite tactic of a lot of teams these days.
Finds himself eased off the ball. And here's Aguero. Hoists it forward. It's out for a goal kick. So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting. Oh, what a... Lewandowski! Just sails past the upright.
Oh, and it's such a good effort, and maybe the target really should have been hit.
There's going to be another change here. Has a pop! Oh, he's really drilled it. De Bruyne plays it forward. It's Lewandowski. Now it's Gnabry. Gnabry! Oh, it looked like 3-0 for sure.
Gnabry clearly is aware of how important that was. He'll be hoping that it won't come back to haunt him.
The changes then in quick succession.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious as to who was going to be taken off. His energy levels began to sag, and he was never going to last until the final whistle.
Fernandinho positions himself well and cuts it out. Played into space out wide. Played in by Sané. Now it's Gnabry. That has put a stop to that. Fernandinho cuts it out. Quick ball forward. And here's the chance to counter. Coman. There will be 4 extra minutes. Bernardo Silva. And it's played forward. And it's Gnabry. Now it's Lewandowski. Coman. Defending of the desperate variety. And time is up. Bayern Munich through to the semi-finals. The trophy almost touchable. You cannot help but fancy them. How do you look back on the game then, Jim?
Bayern Munich have some very strong runners from midfield, and it's not often you'll see a team be so effective by advancing through the middle like that, but this was very impressive the way they cut through the heart of that defence.
Well, hello, good evening, and welcome to everybody who has joined us, regardless of where you are, or indeed what time it is with you all over the globe, as we bring you this most glamorous of clashes between two sides desperately chasing the right to contest the ultimate prize in club football. This competition has provided us with so much unforgettable drama since the first qualifiers began last summer, and I'm certain there will be plenty more to come in the last few. It is semi-final day. The stands here, the curva, as the locals call them, make for quite an impressive sight, all in support of the grand old lady of the Italian game. So just one more step for a date with destiny. Few games come bigger than this one.
Yeah, and the first leg of a semi-final, you can't guarantee passage into the final, obviously, just yet. But you can make life quite hard for yourself, Peter, second leg. So you've got to expect it to be tight and tense. This atmosphere sounds perfect for the occasion. And it's a case of releasing your best now and just finding a stronger edge, letting the opposition know what you're all about. And it's going to be tough next time round too.
So it's away we go then. Jim, who do you pick out as the telling individual today?
Yeah, Giorgio Chiellini. He's the very definition of a rock at the back. He's so physically imposing, but also a great reader of the game, and his positioning is usually spot on. The technical side of defending doesn't often get a mention, but just watch this guy's tackles if you want a great display of timing and precision. He does it best.
Yeah, the scourge of so many strikers. Kimmich. And here's Higuain. And he's had a shot! He's got away with one there. Higuain, and he's on his way! Matuidi, oh, it's Matuidi. Goretzka tries to get it forward quickly, and here's the chance to counter. And it's Gnabry. Szczesny will lay claim to that. And here's Higuain. Higuain plays it out to the flank. Matuidi. He's had a go! And that's caused a worry or two. Gnabry tries running with the ball at his feet. Good challenge, he just stood firm. Battles to win it back. Now it's Lewandowski. Cuadrado. Lewandowski. Coman. Coman! Marvellous goal!
Well, let me assure you that scoring just before half-time is always a real treat. And when it's one of your top talents who delivers it, it just seems to fuel confidence that little bit more.
absolutely thundered in. Keeper, no chance.
Well, the technique generates the power in that situation. And once power is assured, any goalkeeper's up against it.
Deadlock broken, it's 1-0.
Yeah, this is also a chance to see what happens to their level of concentration from here.
Good spell of possession this, but very little to show for it. And the half-time whistle goes. So there you have it, a close-fought half of football, but one that still had its moments, but ultimately produced just one goal. A more than decent game up to now.
Well, they showed glimpses of some wonderful football to go in with the lead at half-time, and that's definitely pleased the fans. I think they'll be looking to keep this intensity up now in the second half.
Bayern Munich come off having scored the only goal of the game so far. It's been tight, it's been exciting, and there is certainly plenty for us to chew on during the break. The action is back on the way.
Well, 1-0 may be good enough, so they may err on the side of caution and get more players behind the ball instead of running beyond it. They could even try to spoil it from here, we'll see.
Matuidi. And here's Higuain. Matuidi. It's a loose ball. And it's Dybala. And here's Higuain. Quick glance at goal. Now it's Lewandowski. A real chance to break. He's left his man. It's Lewandowski! Kimmich pumps. It's bounced out! And a second time!
That's a little unfortunate. He had a lot of people worried then.
And checks on the touchline. A change about to occur. And here's Lewandowski. Lewandowski! Good stop. That wasn't easy.
Well, that was high-class goalkeeping there to back up his high-class rage.
Pedrano goes looking. Looking to break out here. Now it's Lewandowski to the keeper and try something new.
Peter, we can only applaud that quality of tackle in the circumstances. It was probably goal-saving.
Chiellini. And it's played forward. Now it's Gnabry. Gnabry gets it out to the wing. Heads it! Oh, and that should have been two.
He got too ahead of himself there, thinking how he could have made things safe. Well, they're supposed to be chasing a goal, and yet there's no urgency or sense of awareness. They've got to wake up. Yeah, he's run himself into the ground, hasn't he? And it's good to see that the crowd appreciate his efforts, because he has put in a real honest shift.
Now it's Matuidi. He gets past his man. Well read, he sorted that out.
Well, it remains to be seen whether they can come up with that little bit of class to rescue the situation. It needs to be any time now, really.
Play for a throw. Oh, real danger here. Chance to shoot. Shot at goal. Danilo gets it away. Close, but time for no more. The whistle has gone. Bayern Munich take a huge step towards the next round. They have the all-important away win. It is theirs now to lose. Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, to me, this is a result, Peter, that says an awful lot more than the scoreline suggests. You know, after the goal, the team just settled down and looked surprisingly comfortable and didn't really...
Well, the overwhelming question here is whether the hosts have yet done quite enough, seriously, certainly, to have decided the tie. They do have their noses in front as things stand, but even with home advantage in their favour, there is still a sense that this is on edge. There is still a pervading anxiety. The more optimistic fans would say that they have done most of the job, but the job, wherever you're sitting, is not quite complete. The Bayern fans singing their songs. This indeed is a super club in so many ways. Well, a repeat performance of the first 90 minutes would do it for the home side, but they'll have to do it against a very desperate opponent who will just keep on going in search of the big one.
Well, I think, all things considered, Peter, you'd be hard-pressed not to think that they have a clear advantage. And you'd also think that if they manage to resist the temptation to get too ahead of themselves, they ought to be fine. The result is the most important thing here. Anything better is a welcome bonus.
So it's down to business here. Bayern Munich are back home, having earned a lead in the away leg. They seem to have one foot in the... He's gone for it! Oh, That's a fine save!
Muller is very sporting here to acknowledge the quality of the save. A lovely little footballing moment.
And it's Khedira. Khedira. Looking to go deep. Oh, real danger here. Coman. Lewandowski. Dybala. Good ball. It's Higuain! Dybala. Driving on, he could shoot here. Boy, he certainly caught him there. It's a free kick. Well, you might think he got off lightly. It is just a verbal warning. And the ball is out of play. Muller. Oh, good interception. Now the counter. It's a promising run he's making on the right. Oh, what a... Dybala! It's a carbon copy of the previous miss.
Juventus really putting a few chances together here. Taking one can only add to such good momentum now.
Brushed off the ball there. Well, it really is one cross after another.
Well, with a target to hit, why not keep up the supply? It's simple and efficient because they all know what they're doing.
Bentancur. Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, that is asking. It's Ramsey! It's Lewandowski, and it's played forward. Bentancur. Juventus half-time in the semi-final. So both sides have drawn blanks. They have toiled at times, but it's not been a bad game by any means.
Well, it's become an exercise in preservation, Peter. I think it's been a much more even affair, and there's no need for them to take any unnecessary risks. They look happy to frustrate and contain and just wait for a chance now.
An engrossing half, but we're still where we started, 0-0. And we're off again. A tight old game so far. Can that change now? And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo instantly goes for goal! Kimmich goes direct to the front line. It's been intercepted, and that will come to nothing. Bentancur. Ramsey. Ball's loose, who's getting there? Khedira. That's good progress he's made on the ball. Where to next? Forward it goes. Lewandowski is flagged offside. So here comes a substitution. has got good distance on that. Has a pop! Yes, it's there! And it's all square in the second leg.
And how about the timing of the pass and run? They've worked it before, and no doubt they'll work it again.
Bayern Munich draw things level on aggregate. He's made sure that that won't get through. Müller. And it's Lewandowski. Oh, shooting chance! Another chance! Dispatched clinically. And that puts them back in front on aggregate. Well, whose goal is that? Big deflection. That's one for the dubious goals panel. Bayern Munich take the aggregate lead. Could this prove decisive? Ramsey. And here's Cristiano Ronaldo. De Ligt goes up and over, and he's cut it out.
That's what has to be done now, no question about it.
Well, hit and hope is just about the sum of it, isn't it, Jim?
Spot on, Peter.
Dybala clips one through. Now it's Higuain. Massive leap! Goal! Juventus! And that gives them an overall lead. A great delivery and a finish to match.
Yeah, I just thought he wanted that more than anyone else on the pitch, and it was fully deserved. He gave it everything he had.
So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting.
Yeah, he's run himself into the ground, hasn't he? And it's good to see that the crowd appreciate his efforts, because he has put in a real honest shift.
Bayern Munich concede the lead and are no longer in control. Lewandowski!
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
It's Cristiano Ronaldo. Dybala. Higuain. Schuller plays it forward. Goretzka with a definite foul there.
Juventus certainly don't need to overcommit now. Their priority lies further back.
Now it's Gnabry! Chiellini. And they've been caught out here. Lewandowski. Gnabry has a pop! Oh, it's in!
what a great finish, but how about the touch? It just allowed him to put the ball exactly where he wanted it, and the rest became a formality.
Bayern Munich, and that's it. They have made it, and they've deserved to make it. A fabulous cup run has gone all the way to the final day. Well, considering what happened in the first game, Jim, how do you think they've done here?
I think the important thing for the second leg was that they didn't become uncertain as to whether they set up to defend or attack. And I thought they got the balance just right. Good job done.
So this is it. Domestic football across the continent may all be done and dusted in the major leagues. And now we have the ultimate spectacle to conclude the season. The earliest phase in qualifying started way back at the beginning of last summer, and now there are just 2 teams standing. A show not just for the capacity crowd here, but one for the whole world. The global audience, they say, some 300 million. This is the very high-tech Veltins Arena, somehow fitting for this part of the world, the industrial hub that is the region of Westphalia. So we're almost there. All one can see a look of utter focus on the faces of all involved. You've been there, Jim Beglin. What will they be thinking as they wait for the whistle?
Well, you're right, Peter. I have been in this position, and the message is usually something like, remember all the work, the hard work you've put in to get this far. So don't leave anything out there now. Do what you're good at. It's better than what they can offer. Stick to that, and you hope it'll be enough.
Final gets underway.
Look, we can only hope for a final that will be free-flowing and end-to-end and highly entertaining, but fear of defeat can often dominate emotions, so don't be surprised if it gets nervy and tense.
It's Lewandowski. Lewandowski, header! Still wants to get his head on that, but couldn't score.
Well, being able to generate that amount of activity in the box means it's hard not to pick someone out.
Hoists it forward. Just brushed off the ball there. Out to the left it goes. Looking to break out here. Jordi Alba does well there. Alert. Griezmann.
There's a lot of movement going on. There's no shortage of options.
So I guess they're looking to play around their opponents as opposed to through. It's Luis Suarez! Oh, a very decent attempt.
And that's exactly the type of adventure we want to see in the final two, Peter. And
He's given it away. Questions were asked, and he's given the answers. And it's Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba. Griezmann. Griezmann! Oh, that's a terrific save from the keeper.
Griezmann simply didn't do anything wrong. He was thwarted by brilliance.
PK. Roberto. Oh, shooting chance! It's off target and by quite a way.
Yeah, I think I'd feel that way too. Not that I thrived in one-on-one situations.
Roberto. And here's Suarez. Out to the right. And they've got it back as soon as they gave it away. Has a hit! He's delivered all right!
And grabbing that opening goal so close to half-time too affords them that extra little psychological edge. And once one of your main men that's doing the damage, it just grows the togetherness and it grows the spirit. Oh, what a cracking goal, but a cracking touch as well. That's what made it for me. That's brilliant play all round.
Big occasion, big goal, crucial lead.
Well, Peter, the emphasis should now switch to...
Well, there's the whistle. The first half of the final has flown by. And there they are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half, but there has only been that one goal. It is very, very tight. So we've had the first 45 minutes of the final, Jim. How's it looking for you?
Bayern Munich are in desperate need of some character and inspiration, and they need it now.
And we're underway.
I think they've got to go out at the start of this second half now and set a tone that smacks of intent and determination. Should they manage it, I think they can find a way back.
Oh, that is asking for trouble. Can he dig out a shot? Tries to get it forward quickly. Ball's out on the left now. And it's Muller. And here's Canabry. Now surely. Chance to Coman! Time to deliver. Pumps it into the area. Griezmann. And now they can launch a counter. Loses his balance and loses the ball. Griezmann. And here's Suarez. Messi. Davis plays it forward quickly. It's come loose. And here's Messi. Neuer is there to take. Griezmann. This could spell danger. Oh, well played. He needed to get that right. Alaba very firm in standing his ground there. It is a tough, full contact contest.
Well, the further he went, the more attention he attracted. There was just way too much pressure for him to get the shot away.
Could be a chance here. Gnabry goes for goal. And the lead stays intact, just.
Gnabry knows only too well how important the chance was. He snatched at it.
Goretzka gets it back.
This is good ball retention, and it should be enough from here, but they want to double their advantage.
Jordi Alba. Timely intervention.
I think it's time for them to concentrate on close.
The final whistle and the end. Bayern Munich fall at the final hurdle. They gave it everything, but it was a bridge too far. And so it ends in pain as the glory goes elsewhere. So much endeavour, so much expectation, so little ultimate reward.
These boys will be absolutely devastated. There's nothing worse than that losing feeling. I've been there, and believe me, it hurts.